2026 is officially the year of the blockbuster. We're talking massive sequels, mind-bending sci-fi, bone-chilling horror, and adrenaline-fueled action that hits harder than ever. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. I've saved the absolute biggest heavy hitters for the very end, so make sure you stick around for that number one spot. Let's dive in.
I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me.
Number 10, we have the action-fighting film, Mortal Kombat 2. The film returns with even more brutal and intense battles as the real tournament finally begins, bringing a direct confrontation between Earth's champions and the forces of the other realm. The story centers on a decisive conflict where humanity itself is at stake, amid bloody fights, supernatural powers, and long-awaited showdowns for fans of the series. An installment packed with action and hard-hitting combat and set to be released on May 8th.
This killer has been planning his attack for years. Your daughter,
Tatum, is the same age that you were when this whole thing started.
Number 9, we have the horror thriller, Scream 7. The story centers on the return of a new killer wearing the ghost face mask who launches a series of terrifying crimes, this time targeting the family of Sidney Prescott. Sidney tries to protect her daughter and stop the killer before her quiet life turns into a new nightmare filled with chases and brutal, bloody crimes. One of the strongest horror films expected this year and set to be released on February 27th.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Her Tom didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind.
Number 8, we have the sci-fi superhero film, Supergirl. The film presents a darker and more brutal version of the Supergirl character, who grew up under tragic circumstances that shaped her into someone tougher and more intense. She sets out on a dangerous journey through space, alongside a girl driven by revenge, facing a mysterious killer amid adventures filled with conflict and a search for justice. One of the most anticipated films of the year, and set to be released on June 26th.
Take the sword. You protect them.
Number 7, we have the fantasy adventure film, Masters of the Universe. The story follows a young man who discovers that his destiny is tied to a distant legendary world after he finds a mysterious sword that sends him back to his original home. There, he finds his planet under the control of evil forces and is forced to accept his fate and transform into a legendary warrior in order to save his world and confront the evil that rules it. A film that's definitely worth waiting for and set to be released on June 5th. Number 6, the beloved series returns with a new film, Toy Story 5. This time, the toys face a different kind of threat, not a traditional villain, but technology and screens that have taken over children's attention. Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and the rest of the gang try to prove that real play still has value and meaning in the face of a digital world that is trying to replace them completely. One of the most anticipated animated films of the year, and set to be released on June 19th. Number 5, we have the sci-fi drama, The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The story takes place many years before the original events, in a world where the government forces teenagers to fight to the death in a brutal game broadcast to the entire world. The film focuses on a young man who is forced to take part in a harsher version of the games, where the number of contestants is doubled and the challenges become even more brutal. A strong return to the world of The Hunger Games and set to be released on November 20th. Before we move on to the next movie, don't forget to support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing so you'll always stay updated with the best and newest movies and shows. And we'd love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments which films on this list you're enjoying the most.
I believe the infection can be treated.
At number 4, we have the horror and survival film, 28 years later, The Bone Temple. The story takes place many years after a virus spread that turned the world into hell, where the danger is no longer limited to the infected alone, but humans themselves have become more brutal. We follow a young man trying to survive in a world where laws have collapsed, and human groups have turned into gangs that practice violence without mercy. Amid this darkness, a faint hope appears for the possibility of a cure for the virus, but reaching it means facing a world that has completely lost its humanity. A dark and brutal installment in the series, and set to be released on Netflix in mid to late April. Number 3, we have the adventure suspense film, The Odyssey. The story follows Odysseus, who is trying to return to his homeland after the end of a long war. During his journey, he faces dangerous mythical creatures, giant monsters, and powerful sorcerers who try to prevent him from reaching his home. The journey stretches on for years, across the sea, dangers, and brutal challenges, in a race against time to return to his family and save his throne before it's too late. A cinematic epic packed with adventure and suspense, and set to be released on July 17th.
This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying.
Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
Number 2, we have the sci-fi film, Project Hail Mary. A man wakes up alone aboard a spacecraft, deep in the universe, with no memory and no idea who he is or why he's there. Over time, he begins to discover that he's been given one final mission: to save planet Earth from a disaster that threatens the extinction of humanity. The film stars Ryan Gosling, is one of the most anticipated films of the year, and set to be released on March 20th.
The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
Number 1, we have the most anticipated film of the year, Avengers: Doomsday. The story centers on the first appearance of Dr. Doom, a genius who combines science and magic and triggers a cosmic crisis that threatens the collapse of the multiverse. As the danger escalates, a massive alliance is formed, bringing together the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and the X-Men in a desperate attempt to stop Doom, who seeks to reshape reality according to his own vision. A film set to generate massive buzz, just like the previous installment, and set to be released on December 18th this year. And if you love TV shows, we've prepared a special video featuring the best Netflix TV shows from recent years, and every show on that list is truly worth watching. You can watch it now by clicking the video on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.